Very good morning, children. How are you doing? Yeah, welcome to the lesson. There is a production of food from plants and methods of management. And now we are in session 2, right? Now come to today's topic. There is in our previous section we learned about various steps in agriculture, like preparing the soil, sowing of seeds, the next irrigation, manuring, all the things, right? Now in this session we're going to deal with all these steps in detail, right? So what's the first one? There is preparing the soil. Here, preparing the soil means, you know, this is the first step in agriculture. The means with this step, we're beginning or we're starting the agriculture. So before this step, the soil was not at all ready for growing of crops. Okay, that's fine. So with the help of this step, what we do means we make the soil ready for agriculture. Got it? So here, supply of air and water to the plants through the roots is important. When we take the root system in a plant is usual to absorb water and the minerals and even air from the soil and supply them to the plant, right? And even to germinate the seeds properly. Germination. What is meant by germination? When a seed is kept in the soil, then after a few days, that seed develops into a small plant. Have you seen? Yeah, that process can be called as a germination. So to germinate the seeds properly and for a uniform supply of water, soil should be prepared, right? So for all these activities, first the soil should be prepared. Okay, and how we can prepare the soil means by two things. There is what's the first one? The ploughing and the leveling. By ploughing and leveling, so we can make the soil prepare, right? So these are the two things, ploughing and leveling. Now first go to the first one, that is ploughing and applying manure. Generally we can find the main field, and that field is divided into so many plots. I told you already in the previous lesson. For carrying out all these agricultural activities easily, the farmers divide his field into small areas or small plots, right? And we call them as a madulu, like this madulu, right? And later followed by harrowed and ploughed with a plank or a plough. When we take this empty field, that means now we are beginning the agriculture. So in that field we can find different varieties of plants. That means some weed plants are present, unwanted plants, okay, and even different varieties of plants are present, and we don't need all these plants. Okay, that's why all these plants are harrowed. What is harrowed means, here we can use one instrument. Can you see this? What do you call this? Means this is called as a harrow, or we can otherwise call this as a plank. Harrow or a plank. So what is the use of this? Means with the help of this instrument we can remove the plants. We can remove the plants from the soil. Correct? Okay. And then even the soil is ploughed. Because of this ploughing movements, the plants will be removed from the soil. You go the point? Right? So in this way, by harrowing and ploughing, what means we can remove the plants which are present in the soil. Okay, then the field is a plough. The field is flooded. Flooded means we supply more and more water to that field. Okay, so that what means all these weed plants and also this stubble. Stubble means the remaining plant materials and all these things, they will be filled with the water, and later what means these plants and plant materials, they decompose, and because of this decomposition, what means they release the nutrients, and so make that soil very, very soft. Okay, and what do you call that area? Means we call that as a seed bed. Why? Means we are using that area for sowing the seeds. So what do you call that area? Means we call that as a seed bed, or we can otherwise call that as a nursery bed. Seed bed or a nursery bed. Good. So this is the first step. So what we do? That means whatever the plants we can find in the field, all these plants are harrowed and ploughed, and then they're flooded so that they decompose and they supply minerals and the nutrients to the soil and make the soil soft. Right. Now what do you call that area? That area can be called as a seed bed or a nursery bed. Got it? Yeah. Advantage of ploughing. Here, why we need to plough the soil? Means, you see, before growing the crops, ploughing the soil properly is very important. This ploughing is very important. Why? Means it has many advantages. It has many uses. Okay, so what are those uses? Means, see, by ploughing, it loosens the soil. Actually the soil will be very hard, but whenever we plough the soil becomes a very loose, very loose. Once you use of this loose soil, the roots can easily grow into the soil, penetrate into the soil. Got it? And then even it helps in a easier transportation of air and water. When the soil becomes loose, then air and water can easily pass into the soil. Whatever the water we supply, that water goes into the soil, and so that our plant can use that. Okay, and even air also. Air is also important. Why? Means roots also respire. Got it? Then water is stored deeply for a long time as the soil is soft. When a soil is soft, then what means more water will retain inside the soil. More water retain inside the soil, so that the soil becomes very soft. Okay, and roots penetrate deep and respire well as the air passes easily into the soil. Okay, already I told this. When the soil is soft, then the roots can easily penetrate deep into the soil. When the root system is very deep, the plant can able to get more nutrients and more water, right? And even air. And friendly microbes and earthworms grow well when soil is soft. So when the soil is soft, there's a friendly microbes. So friendly microbes means rhizobium. Already we studied. This bacteria is very important for the plants. So like this is said to be friendly microbe, and even earthworms. Earthworm, what do you call this earthworm? Earthworm is called friend of farmer. Friend of a farmer. Why? Means especially these earthworms are useful for converting plant materials into this manure. So we call this earthworm as a friend of farmer, right? So these two friendly microbes and earthworms can grow well when the soil is soft. And what's the next one? Means when the soil is ploughed, then what means deep layer is exposed to sunlight. Deep layer is exposed to sunlight. That's why, because of that temperature, see, the harmful microorganisms will be killed. Got it? So in this way, this ploughing has many advantages. Okay, and even because of this ploughing, water can be supplied uniformly throughout the field. Got it? So in this way, it has many advantages, and that's why this is said to be the first step in agriculture, right? And now come to the next step. Next one, there is a plough. Now have you seen this picture? Plough. In Telugu we call this as a nagalira, right? Yeah. Plough is used for ploughing. What is the use of this instrument? This instrument is used for ploughing. And even for weeding. Weeding means to remove this weed plant, kalupu mokalu, right? And here this is made up of iron and also wood. You see, when we take all this structure is made up of wood, and here we can find some black colored substance. See, what is that? That is iron. That is iron blade, right? So here, what is the shape of this? It is a letter T, right? And here when we take the end of this plough here, this area, it chisel like a nail. Have you seen this black colored one? What is this? This is a nail. It is a iron blade. Okay, and that is attached to this plough. What is the use of that? Here, if it is a wood, the wood cannot penetrate deep into the soil. Okay, but when this metal is present, this metal can easily cut the soil. Okay, that's why we arrange metal to that plough, right? And when see the soil is ploughed, we get what? We get V-shaped ridges. Can you see this picture? See, when the soil is ploughed, can you see? Yeah, like this the soil becomes. Here, what is the shape of this soil now? Furrows? Yeah, V shape. So the V-shaped ridges are formed while ploughing, and which helps for better watering the crops. So through this V-shaped furrows, we can easily supply water from one place to another place in the field. Got it? Okay. The next one. What's the next one means? That is leveling the soil. So here, the fields have a lot of up and downs even after ploughing. Even after ploughing the soil, we can find some up and downs, and that's why what we do means we use an instrument that is called leveler. You see here, the name itself indicates that it is useful for what? For leveling the soil, for leveling. Okay, so water and nutrients can be reached to every part of the field because of this leveling. And when we observe this picture, see here, can you see this one? This is made up of a wood or a log. It is a log, and here we can find, see, at the base, this is what? This is an iron blade, and here we can find two rings. See, this is one and this is one. So these two rings are, with the help of these two rings, see, this instrument is tied to this bullets. Okay, and this is what? This is a handle. The farmer will hold with this handle, right? Okay. So what is the use of this means? With the help of this, see, the farmer is able to level the soil. Okay, and this is an old one, but nowadays some mechanized levelers are also available. Can you see this? Yeah. Okay. And naturally this here, when we take this plough, in a plough, this is old one, but nowadays we are using this mechanized ploughs. Have you seen? Nowadays many farmers are ploughing the field with the tractors. Have you seen this picture? Yeah, here we can find many ploughs. See, 5 to 6, depending upon our need, we can increase or decrease the number of these ploughs, right? So by using this machines, what we can do means we can save a lot of time and money, right? So this is mechanized plough, right? So what's the next one? Sowing. Next step is sowing the seeds. Sowing means natadam. So here, sowing and selection of seeds is a very, very important step in agriculture. That means how to sow and which type of seeds we need to select for agriculture. This is very, very important. In olden days, what the farmers were doing means after harvestation, after the completion of this agriculture, what they do means they completely observe the seeds. They observe all the seeds and they select which type of seeds. They select the seeds which are wrinkle free. Wrinkle free means without foldings, which are which are round shaped, and even which are having a more weight, So in this way, they select the good seeds, okay, and then they store them for the future. What they do with those seeds? Those seeds are used for sowing in the next season. Got it? So this was a method followed in the olden days, and what we call that method means that method is called a selection method. Okay. So here, how to find out whether the seed is a good seed or not? Means by doing a simple activity. What does that means? We can take a mug of water or a bucket of water, and then we need to take a sample of seeds, a fist of seeds, and then those seeds have to be poured in that water. Okay, so if you carefully observe these seeds, can you find any change? Yeah. So some of the seeds are floating over the water, and some seeds sink to the base. Have you seen? Right? So here what is meant by floating seeds and this sunken seeds means floating seeds are useless. Whatever the seeds that are floating, they are useless. They are not at all useful. Okay, that's why what you have to do means we have to remove all these floating seeds. So whatever the seeds that are sink in the water, they are said to be good seeds. They are said to be good seeds. So here, when we observe the seeds, let's see here. Say observe this table. Seed character, sank seeds and the floated seeds. Good color. So in which type of seed we can find a good color? That is a sank seed, right? And then a wrinkle and a rough shape, round shape, that is not rough, it is a round shape. Sorry, wrinkled and rough shaped. Which seeds they would be? They are floated seeds. And then what's the next one? Smooth and round shape. Which seeds are smooth and having a round shape means there is a sank seeds. Then which seeds are having more weight? More weight means there is a sank seeds. Then less weight, there is a floated seeds. As they have a less weight, they are floating. Correct? So in this way, by this simple activity, we can find out. The means which are good seeds and which are not good seeds. Okay, and even after that, we can go for one more activity. What is that means? That is called a germination test. Germination test. You see, for example, we have taken 100 seeds, and when we sow the seeds, sow that 100 seeds, can you give any guarantee that out of that 100, all the seeds will develop into new plants? No, we cannot. So here, when we observe those 100 seeds, out of that 100, some seeds may be completely germinated and develop into plants, and some they are poorly developed, incompletely developed, and some seeds they never develop, they never germinate at all. So how we can find out that means? So here what we have to do, we have to take 100 number of seeds and then just put them in water throughout the night, and then in the morning, then all these seeds must be kept in some wet cloth, and then put that towel or that cloth aside for a few hours. Then after a few hours, that means by the evening, what happens? Can you find that? Yeah, here we can find that some seeds are germinated. Some seeds are germinated. You know, nowadays when I'm eating this sprouts, molakalu, have you seen? So just like that. In that way, the seeds have to be tested, right? And after the completion of this activity, what we have to do means we have to separate these seeds into three types, which are completely germinated, which are not completely germinated, and which are not at all germinated. Correct. Say for example, we got 100 out of 100, say suppose 60 seeds are germinated completely, and 25% incompletely germinated, and 15% not at all. So what is mean by this? Means 60 here, 60 number indicates germination percentage. Got it? So that means with the help of this test, we get an idea. That means if we sow 100 number of seeds, out of those 100, we get only 60 seeds. So according to that, so if you want to develop 100 plants, then what you have to do? At least we have to go for 150 seeds. Correct? So what do you call this? This is called as a germination test. Even this is also done before we sow these seeds. And what's the next one means? Seed crisis. Crisis. Here what is meant by crisis? Means a non-availability. Just now I told you, see, in the olden days, what the farmers were doing before, that means after the completion of agriculture harvestation, they selected the good seeds and store them for the next season. But nowadays, no farmer is doing that. Okay, simply they're going to this seed shops, and then they are purchasing this ready-made seeds. So that means whenever we observe this seed bag, or that seed bag, we can find some number. What is that? That number indicates a germination percentage, like 90%, 95%, like that. That means 95% means what? When 100 seeds are sown, 95 seeds can be developed into seedlings. Got it? Okay. So nowadays, that means most of the farmers, they're getting the seeds from this seed selling shops. Okay, and we can find some other government shops, and most of them are private organizations, run by private organizations. Correct. So here, have you seen this? Yeah, okay. So here, when the farmer get that bag of rice, and then they sow the seeds, then what wins? So can we say that number is correct one? No, sometimes. So we cannot get the same number of plants as expected. So for example, their germination percentage is 95, but sometimes we may not get 95%, and sometimes even the seeds may not at all germinated. Now and then you may get the word that is nakli vithanal, that is duplicate seeds. No? So whenever the farmer will get this kind of seeds and sown them in the soil, then what happens? Then there will be total loss to the farmer, right? So even sometimes they never germinate. Why? Means they are sterile. Sterile means what? Sterile means the seeds which cannot be germinated, they can be called as a sterile. Okay, and nowadays some multinational companies are selling genetically modified seeds. Genetically means, yeah, of course they are good, but what is the disadvantage with that seeds means? See here, those seeds, whatever the seeds we get from these plants, we cannot use them for the next season. They can be used only for one season. So every year, every season, the farmers must go to the shops and they must purchase. So that means it is like a business. Got it? So that's a disadvantage here. So the farmers are imposed to purchase the seeds from them as they are sterile. As they are sterile means these seeds cannot be used for the next season. Okay, they are used only for one season. Got it? Okay. So, and even nowadays, these traditional varieties are almost disappearing. Disappearing means no farmer is selecting the good seeds, and no farmer is storing for a future purpose. Okay, that's why these traditional varieties of seeds are disappearing. Okay, that's why, so in our country, this organization, National Seed Development Corporation of India, what it is doing means it is preserving means it is storing and promoting different varieties of seeds. It is collecting this traditional varieties of seeds and also storing. Why means that means to prepare the hybrid plants from these seeds. But when we take this multinational companies, they prepare the hybrids by using different varieties of seeds, okay, which are harmful. But here, this National Seed Development Corporation of India, what it do means it develops hybrids from the locally available varieties. Okay, and even selection of seeds free from pest is also very, very important steps. So, for example, we selected some seeds. And if you carefully observe the seed is wrinkle free, it is round, and then it is having good color. And you think that it is good. But there is no guarantee. Why means over that seed we may find some microbes. But can you see them? No, why means because of their small size, some bacteria, some fungi, the next some pest may be present over the soil. Okay, so when such a seed is sown in the soil, then what happens? Then from the beginning itself, the seed will not germinate properly, and even from the beginning, the plant will get different types of infections and disease. Okay, that's why before we sow the soil, what you have to do means the seeds must be cleaned. The seeds must be cleaned with what? With not soap and water, but with some chemicals. Which chemicals? Which chemicals and what's the use of these chemicals means? These chemicals are useful to kill pest, bacteria, and fungi. So if any microbes are present, these microbes can be killed or can be removed by using this method. Correct? So what do you call this method means? This is called chemical treatment. This is called chemical treatment, and of course there is one more method which can be called as a hot water treatment. Hot water treatment. Here the seeds are kept in hot water just for seconds, so that because of this high temperature, if any microbes are present, they can be killed. But if you keep them for some more time, then what happens? The seeds get a boil, and then they will be spoiled. We cannot use them for the sowing purpose. Correct? And what do you call that? That method can be called as a hot water treatment. Correct? Now the next topic. So the method of dispersing seeds by sprinkling. Have you seen this picture? Here, what is that person is doing? Yeah, that person is sprinkling the seeds. Okay, and what do you call that method means? That method can be called as a broadcasting. So when we take this rice, in rice, this sowing of seeds can be done by two methods. Okay, the first one can be called as broadcasting, and there is second method that is called transplantation. Second method, transplantation. Okay, so here, can you see this picture? Yeah, here what do you call this process? This is called broadcasting method. When we scatter, we disperse the seeds by sprinkling, by throwing. That is called broadcasting. Correct? And here, can you see this machine? What is this? This is called a seed drill. Seed drill. Right? So what's the use of this seed drill means? Nowadays, the farmers are using this seed drill. Okay, why means with the help of this machine, we can sow the seeds very easily within a short period by using a less amount of money. Right? We can save time and also money. Here, can you see this one? See, if you carefully observe, here what is this? It is a funnel. It is a funnel, and in this funnel we put all the seeds. We put all the seeds, and from here, see, you can find many pipes. Many pipes are coming down. Have you seen? Yeah, here we can find many pipes, and here at the base, what you can find? You can find the blade, just like a plough, right? So what is the use of this blade means? When the tractor moves, see, it cuts the soil, so that from here the seed, they pass through these pipes and fall into the soil. And here this machine, this what is this means? This is useful to cover the seed, with the soil. Correct? So with the help of this machine, we can do three things. What is the first one? There is a ploughing, and the next sowing of seed, and again covering of seed. Correct? So that's why it is better to use this kind of mechanical methods or modern methods in agriculture. So here, now and then we have seen that while the farmers are sowing the seeds in that field, we can find many birds. Have you seen? Why means whatever the seeds the farmer is sprinkling, most of the seeds are taken or eaten by these birds. Okay, so in this way we can find a wastage of seeds. But whenever we use this machine, what happens? We cannot find any wastage of seeds, right? So why means immediately the seed is covered by soil. Correct? So in this way, by using this seed drill, we can sow the seeds. Right? This seed drill can be used for all the types of seeds. Okay, but we're talking about rice now. So in rice we can find what is a broadcasting method. Okay, and what's the next one means. See, the growing seeds need time have the roots submerged in water when it develop a 4 to 5 leaves ready for a transplantation. That means when the roots are submerged in water, and then what happens then after few days, that means within 14 to 40 days, what happens means they develop 4 to 5 leaves. So once it develops a 4 to 5 leaves, it is ready for the process. What do you call this process? There is a transplantation. This is called a transplantation. Correct. So once all these seedlings develop a 4 to 5 leaves, so how much time will be needed for that? Yeah, there is a 14 to 40 days. 14 to 40 days. Right? So once the seedlings develop this 4 to 5 leaves, they are ready for a transplantation. What is meant by transplantation means now the field is plugged with water, and then can you see this picture? See here what are they doing means they are removing all these seedlings and make them into bundles. Have you seen these bundles? Yeah, bundles, right? So in this way they remove all these seedlings and make them into bundles. And now what they do means these bundles are shifted to the main field, but till now all this operation or all this activity is done in which place? What do you call the place? That is called seed bed or a nursery bed. Now these bundles are shifted to where? The main field, and then they untie these bundles. Untie means they open this bundle and then again they put these seedlings in the soil by maintaining appropriate distance. Have you seen this picture? See here what these ladies are doing. Yeah, they are sowing these seedlings in the soil, right? So what do you call this method means? This method is called transplantation. This is called transplantation. So this transplantation can be seen only in two types of crops. What are they? One is rice, and of course even in wheat also. Rice and wheat. Okay, but when we are doing this cotton, can you follow this method? No. Simply we sow the seeds. That's it. By maintaining the distance. Okay, but again we never shift the plants. Correct? But in broadcasting method, what we do means we simply sprinkle the seeds. That's it. Okay. Then here, what's the next one? There is a paddy planter. I mean, see, just make a look here. What is this? What do you call this machine means? This is called a paddy planter. And it is useful for which kind of a farmers means the farmers who cultivate in a large area, and where this people labor is not available. So in such places we can use this paddy planter. So what is the use of this paddy planter means? With the help of this paddy planter we can sow the seedlings. In the soil by maintaining proper distance. Correct. Manually, when people are doing some now and then we can find some distance may be different or a distance may be changing. Okay, but by using this machine we can maintain a correct distance among the plants. Correct. So what is the use of this means? With the help of this we can save the money and also time. Correct. So this is an advanced system, or we can say advanced method. Correct. So whenever we are using such kind of tools and machines in agriculture, then it becomes easy. Correct. So with this we come to the end of this session, and let's continue in the next topic. Thank you.